What's up you guys, Sasha here, and today I want to talk about 11 different ways in which you can make money online starting right now. Let's dive right in. Now, before we get into the number of different ways in which you can make money, let's cover some of the things that I'm not going to be talking about. I am not going to be talking about Amazon, FBA, buying various random things from Chinese factories, having them shipped to your buyers. I'm not going to be talking about drop shipping and setting up shops and trying to market that and trying to make a differential on advertising cost and the amount of money you're going to get in. I'm going to talk about some real, down-to-earth, normal, everyday, every person ways that you can make money, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can do it in each one. So first one, you might have heard of it, you might not have heard of it. There's a website called Fiverr, fiverr.com. That is a website where if you have any kind of skill or any kind of work that it is that you can do for other people that people are happy to pay for, you can go on there and get that work. If you are good at drawing logos, if you're good at doing a voiceover, if you're good at animating things, if you're good at writing something, whatever it is, there's probably some kind of category on there that you can choose. The reason it's called Fiverr is because it started out with the intent of charging $5 for the pieces of work, and today a lot of the work is still at the cheaper end, although it does vary. You can easily charge $50, $250, $500 depending on your skill level and your reviews over time. You'll have to start a bit lower in order to build that reputation, but generally speaking, there is a lot of opportunity to make a reasonable amount of cash. All you have to do is go sign up, get approved, and begin doing it. Number two is Upwork. Now Upwork is slightly different to Fiverr. It is a more premium, a more higher end, a more specialist version of Upwork. If you have some very specific skills where they might be more in demand, you have very particular knowledge, you have in-depth background in video editing and something else that is sought after and people are prepared to pay more money for, that's where you're going to go. On Fiverr, it tends to be more of a live, fast functioning marketplace. So if somebody wants to go and get a job, they'll go and select a few different people who have bid for it, or even ask them to do it for them. On Upwork, it's more of a negotiation, a sort of discussion around how exactly the work's going to be completed, a bit of back and forth, and the money is also higher, but you're less likely to get continuous streams of projects as a result. So if you do have those skills, Upwork might be something for you. If you're more of a kind of person who likes doing things with their hands, you're very good at making things, you can have a go at eBay or Etsy. And before you jump right out, I'm not talking about buying something in a shop and trying to sell it at a markup. I'm not talking about trying to find ways of cheating the system. I'm just saying, if you are a particularly good person at making something with your hands, let's say you can make amazing furniture or decorative items made out of wood, and the wood is from a big tree that's just fallen in the garden behind your house. If you're particularly good at doing that, staining it a few times, cutting it, attaching some old iron legs, whatever it is, and selling it for 200, 300, 400 pounds as a result, hey, there's a lot of people who are very, very happy to pay for it. Your costs might be minimal, it might be just time and skill. If that's your kind of thing, just have a think, is there something that you can be producing, especially something that you can produce time and time again, where people can see other people have bought it and leave positive reviews and want one themselves. Number 4 on our list is surveys. This is a very old way of making money online, and probably one of the very first ones. You might have discounted before, but you might just be surprised by the fact that you can still today begin starting to make a few pounds by just going and registering on one of the various survey websites out there and just replying to surveys. Now, some of them will be specific to you based on your gender, age, other profiling, your background, but a lot of them are quite generic. Websites like YouGov are large websites where there is tons and tons of different opportunities to earn money. Yeah, sure, some of them will take you 15-20 minutes, and you do need to make sure that you answer the surveys properly and you don't just click stuff because there are tools that pick that up. But hey, you can begin making a reasonable amount of money really quite quickly. Like today, you can make a few pounds just by going and doing that. A little bit more complicated than surveys is focus groups and in-person meetings. Now, I know that today it is quite difficult for people to be able to get out, but a lot of these are now happening online, so you can still get in. So what these are, a lot of brands will go and think about launching new products, adding new features, revamping what they're doing, and a lot of them will want to speak to potential customers, existing customers, past customers, about their feelings. So what will happen is there'll be up to 10 or 12 of you together speaking to a moderator. They'll ask you a lot of questions about how do you feel about things, how does this look, what would you say to that, and for just purely exchanging your opinions, sitting in that meeting for an hour and a half, you can easily walk away with £30 to £50 if you sign up to enough of them. And there are many of these services online. Just go and look for them. You might find a relatively constant flow of these different things coming your way, and at £30, £50 a pop, even if it's just one every other week, that's still a pretty good amount of side income. So why don't you go and do that? Now, next on our list is consulting, and that sounds scary. I've been a consultant myself for a long time, but I'm not suggesting you go out and start your own firm, build a website, hire a bunch of people, begin trying to hustle for business. You can do that if you want, but what I'm talking about is a relatively more straightforward version of that, which is if you have knowledge about a particular industry, a particular specific niche thing, you can go and sign up with specific agencies where experts, where investors, other companies come to find advice from people like you about your niche. So look at things like GLG, Third Bridge, GuidePoint, Alpha Sites. There's a number of big websites out there. You just go and sign up. You tell them exactly what your background is, what you know, what you can talk to people about, what you can advise them on, and you can get those consults. The rates can really vary, but if you're really in demand and the knowledge that you have is valuable, you can be talking a few £100s for an hour of your time. Now, it might only happen once a month, twice a month, but even so, that can still be quite a large amount of money if you are able to do it. Just before you go and sign up to all 4 of those, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notifications every time a new video comes out. My videos come out every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and this channel is all about making the most out of your money, improving your personal finance and being better with making money over time. So make sure you sign up. So let's get into writing. Freelance writing is something that surprisingly you can get paid for, and you can get paid for reasonably easily, especially if you're based in an English-speaking country. I'm based in the UK. If you're also based in the UK, if you're based in the US and English is your first language and you're good at writing, you can get started. There are services that are big, there are lots of smaller, more niche and boutique services. Now, to start with, you might only be earning just below 1 cent up to about 4 or even 5 cents a word, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you write a 1,000 word article at 5 cents a word, that's still a pretty good $50. So I don't know, if you're good at writing and you're fast, that money can rack up pretty fast. Now, if you get good and your ratings increase, you can begin charging a lot more than that. So as you become a premium writer on some of these services, you can begin getting independent deals, and you can be charging anything up to 100, 200 and more per article if the quality is there. So it's definitely worth trying if writing is your thing. Now, if you're more of a photo person or video person, you can do exactly the same thing but with producing video or making photos. You can go out and, even without actually traveling or doing anything specific, take pictures of trees, nature, your town, your house, things in your garden, whatever it is that you want to take pictures of. If you think there's artistic value and somebody might want that, go and take them. Go onto the big services like Shutterstock, 123RF. There's so many of these different photo services. Sign up and begin uploading your photos. Make sure you create the descriptions, write what the photo's about, and each time somebody then goes and downloads that from those services that are paid, you get paid a commission. And sometimes these commissions don't sound like a lot. You might be talking like 20p per photo that gets downloaded. But if your photo becomes popular and those 20p's begin coming multiple times a day, every single day for every single photo, that can also become a lot of money. Now, of course, it does vary a lot and you have to be quite good to begin earning big bucks, but it's free, and why not have a go? If you want to combine the previous 2 things, so take the writing and take the photos into one and have a slightly longer outlook, you can go and try blogging. Blogging seems to be something that has gone completely out of fashion. A lot of people say, hey, that died 10 years ago. The truth is the opposite. Content marketing and blogging, kind of the same thing, have continued growing and are still growing at a very fast rate. There is still a huge amount of opportunity. I have my own content marketing websites. I have one in travel where I am now consistently making quite good amount of money. So if you like writing and you like writing for yourself and producing content on the same theme over time, that's something that can be quite interesting. Now, the downside with blogging is that, unlike some of the other things that I mentioned before, it will take considerably longer for the money to roll in. This is definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're unlikely to see any results for the first 6 to 9 months, and you're only really likely to begin earning any noticeable money at around about the 12-month mark. By noticeable, I mean £100 a month or thereabouts. At about 18 to 24 months, you can begin making 1,000, 2,000 or more per month if you're good and you're persistent with the work ethic, but this is going to take time. There are 3 ways in which bloggers make money. The first is ads. So whenever people visit your website, they see ads on the website, you get paid for that. That's usually a quite good starting revenue stream. The second is affiliate. So you can sell other people's products, you can recommend things that people buy and you get paid a small commission through Amazon, through other websites. Or you can begin teaching people either how to do things or giving them very in-depth courses about the stuff that you write about, and people might pay you in order to take those courses. Those 3 things can be extremely profitable if you're good. The only thing is they take time, so make sure you're ready for that. Number 10, slightly different. If you're not into writing, if writing a 1,000, 3,000 word article sounds daunting and not something that's your cup of tea, you might want to choose to go and do YouTube. It's exactly the same business model. You're producing content that is interesting to people, that people want to watch, that people want to engage with, and you also get paid in ads, you get paid in affiliate income, and you can draw people onto other websites of your own where you can sell them courses or do whatever. If building a website from scratch or doing any of those things just sounds like too much work and you have a bunch of money burning a hole in your pocket, here is a bonus number 11 tip for how you can make money online. It is buying a website and just letting it run with a little bit of upkeep and maintenance. And what I mean by that is there are websites like Flipper for the sort of cheaper, smaller websites, and Empire Flippers or other ones for the more big established websites, where you can buy an entire content marketing website all for yourself just by going on there and signing up. Now, the prices are better than you might think. Typically, these websites are priced at around about the sort of 30 to 42 multiple of their monthly income. So what this means is, for most websites, when you buy that website, you're likely to make your money back in revenue in 3 years without the website ever growing or developing from there. A lot of websites have a lot of new content which hasn't had a chance to rank, hasn't had a chance to grow, and you are able to reinvest the money that the website already makes into hiring writers on Fiverr, on Upwork, on one of these content mills, freelance writing websites, and getting them to produce content on your behalf that you'll just then have to go and upload into the website, and that will allow your website to grow. Now, if you're wanting to do something where you're playing in this online business, online money-making game, but without actually having to do that much work yourself and you have the cash, that might be the quickest and easiest route for you. You just have to do enough due diligence to make sure that what you're buying is definitely going to be right, has a low chance of failing, is evergreen, and is likely to continue growing over time. There you go.